Hey.
Look, I think I found something. Every patient was taking the same brand of herbal sleeping pills. They all bought it at this health food store on Broad Street. It's a new brand. It's only been on the market for the last 3 months.
There's no telling what's in these pills. A lot of the times the manufacturers don't even list all the ingredients.
I'll start a GS mass spec. That'll tell us what's inside them.
Great. If you find a contaminant, we'll know how to treat it.
All right.
I ran a special culture. The ice cream in the truck was contaminated with a bacteria called Listeria. I found it in your blood, too.
All the other women remember eating ice cream off the same truck.
All I had was a few licks off Lexi's cone.
Sometimes that's all it takes. Listeria is a unique bacteria. We're not sure why, but it especially affects fetuses and pregnant women, which is why no one else got sick.
Can it be treated?
Yeah, I've started you on an antibiotic called gentamicin. That should take care of your infection.
What about my baby?
Well, we have... baby's heart rate's dropping.
What does that mean?
Baby's in distress. Fred is becoming septic.
There has to be something else you can do.
There is. I can treat the baby with IV ampicillin and rifampin.
Then do it.
Amy, the only way we can control the dosage precisely and monitor its effects is if we have full access to the baby.
What do you mean?
I need to call your OB.
Nurse?
I'll do it.
Why?
We need to do an emergency C-section now.
Hi, can I help you?
Hi, I'm looking for Annie Ronson.
My mother's dead. She died in the World Trade Center on 9/11.
The last thing I want to do is intrude on your privacy, Mrs. Ronson.
Remembering my daughter is never an intrusion, Doctor. The more I talk about Annie, the more alive she is for me and for her own little girl. This Meredith you were asking me about?
Beck.
I'm afraid I don't know her. I don't think Annie ever mentioned her either.
She's a patient I've been treating. I was told that she was friends with Annie. Your daughter never worked at Latham & Dunn?
Annie was an apprentice with a jewelry designer on the 71st floor of Tower 1. She designed these earrings. She gave them to me that morning. Out of the blue, just before she went to work. To me, it just seemed like any other morning. But Annie was always a big believer in fate. I'm sure she knew something was going to happen that day. Well, I'm grateful I at least got to talk to her one last time.
You talked to her during the attack?
She knew it was bad. She was thrown so hard by the initial jolt that she twisted her ankle, breaking her fall. She only made it down a few flights before she couldn't walk on that ankle anymore. We didn't talk long. She just wanted to assure me that she'd be okay. Said she'd been promised that help would be sent up to rescue her. Just like fate, Annie was a big believer in promises.
I know my coming here and asking you all these questions about this stranger and your daughter must seem very odd to you. Just know that you've helped me understand something that may help Meredith Beck very much.
Well, I'm glad about that.
Thank you for sharing your daughter, Annie. Bye, Caitlin.
Dr. Durant, do you think this Meredith could have anything to do with Caitlin's money?
Money?
A few months after 9/11, $2,000 a month started arriving in the mail for Caitlin. I never figured out who's been sending it or why.
Hey.
Hey.
What'd you find?
First of all the pills contain L-tryptophan.
L-tryptophan? The FDA took that off the market in 1990.
Exactly. That's why it wasn't listed on the ingredients in the victim's herbal sleeping pills. This L-tryptophan was contaminated with a bonding agent called PEEK.
Where'd it come from?
I don't know. I've been on the phone with our researchers at NIH. There's no way to tell if this was a mistake or a case of product tampering.
Well, who's the manufacturer?
A company called Kamafuku.
Oh, please. Don't tell me they're from Hong Kong.
No, try Canada. Kamafuku has a wholesale distributor here in New York.
Good work, Frank. Hey, look, get a hold of the State Attorney General's office. Since it's illegal to smuggle L-tryptophan into the U.S., they can shut down the wholesaler immediately.
All right, I'll call him right now. What about the patients?
A contaminated L-tryptophan can cause eosinophilia myalgia syndrome, muscular abnormalities associated with this form of spontaneous paralysis. Corticosteroid therapy has been extremely effective in treatment, and the sooner the better.
I'd like to be the one to give Meredith her treatment.
I'm scared.
I'll be in there the entire time. I've already talked to your obstetrician. She knows exactly what we're dealing with.
I wish Tim was here. His unit's not scheduled back from Iraq.
Dr. McCann's called a specialist, a neonatologist. He'll be there to start treatment as soon as the baby comes out. I'll be waiting.
We found what's been causing your illness. This should start reversing it.
I told Dr. Connor I didn't want you in here.
Meredith, I know it's hard to grasp how total strangers can sometimes affect our lives. I talked to Annie's mother today. I talked to her daughter, Caitlin, too. I don't know exactly what happened between you and Annie Ronson when you crossed paths that day. But I feel sure that whatever happened, her mom and daughter don't blame you. You need to stop blaming yourself, and you need to talk about it, because if you don't, it'll kill you.
Annie was lying in the stairwell, injured. People were racing past. I stopped and I looked down. And she asked me if I would help her. And I told her. Now, I promised her that I would find a paramedic or a fireman to come back for her.
It was complete mayhem that day. You did everything that you could.
No, I didn't. All I could think about was that I wanted to get out of that building. I could barely breathe. I couldn't see.
You were in shock.
Finally, somehow I found light. Found myself on the street with noise and chaos. From the moment I left Annie to the moment I reached the street, I must have passed and seen a dozen firemen, and I didn't tell one of them about Annie.
It's okay. It's okay, How are you feeling?
Tired. Other than that, better than I thought I would.
Well, you did great.
How's the baby doing?
She's a little jaundiced, but that's normal for a preemie. We have her under the lights. Here we go. All right. The important thing is the IV antibiotic therapy is working. She's gonna be fine.
Thank you so much. Both of you.
Are you ready to see your little sister?
Is she going to cry?
I don't know. Let's find out.
She's so little. Can I touch her?
Go ahead. She won't break.
Well,
beautiful.
Do you have any idea what you're going to name her?
Not for sure.
Mommy, it's for you.
Hello? Tim? Oh my God. It's a girl. She's gonna be okay. I can't wait for you to meet her.
You can do it. Just concentrate. It'll take a while for the effects of the EMS to wear off and for you to regain full mobility. But it's a good start. Get some rest.
See you later.
All right, let's go. Chopper's all loaded up top. Where's Natalie?
She said fly back without her. She'll meet us in Maryland tomorrow.
She say why?
Yeah, something about needing to stop by Bellevue.
Bellevue Hospital?
Yeah.
Look, why don't you take the chopper back? I'll catch up with you later.
All right.
Hey.
Hey. Jill Anastasio was a patient of mine when I was on staff at St. John's. She was in a plane crash. Her husband was killed. Her injuries were severe. Eventually, her body healed. She seemed as good as new.
How'd she wind up here?
I was so busy watching her body heal, I completely missed what was really broken.
So Jill had post-traumatic stress disorder.
She'd come in for post-recovery checkups and tell me about her life. How she was working 18-hour days, not sleeping, hardly going out. She was just shutting down. Sound familiar?
Meredith Beck.
Then one day I got a call. She jumped off a highway overpass. She's been here ever since. She was practically begging me for help.
Look, we do the best we can as doctors. And there's one thing I know for damn sure. Natalie Durant is one of the best.
Stephen, I wasn't listening.
You listen to Meredith Beck. Look, we should probably start heading back.
I'm gonna stick around for a little while.